All right. Good morning, Kid Prosperity. It is Matt here with Mary Beth. It is
Morning.
Thursday, June 11th. The month is moving along as always.
Yes.
Um, good to see you as always, Mary Beth.
You too. We spend a
Uh,
lot of time together, Matt and I.
we have it's all good things though. Good time. Um, so yesterday we really finished the net a million section. We finished up the 16 challenges that you'll face going from earn a million to net a million.
Hmm.
And yesterday specifically, we talked about focusing on your 20%, and we focused on, really nourishing your soul, like nourishing yourself, making sure that you're focusing on the right activities, that you're not just focusing on work. And so really now, as we look at the bottom of page 261 to conclude the net a million stage, I just want to read this one section because I think it's important. It says, the next transition from net a million to receive a million may in fact be the most difficult to achieve. So, as you can tell, as we've been doing this, Mary Beth, the conversations have become much more high level. They've become much deeper in scope. And really what it says on page 261, it says, it requires a fundamental shift in your thinking, the difference between working in a business and owning one. So let me read that again, because that's huge to be able to grasp. Going from net a million to receive a million requires a fundamental shift in your thinking, the difference between working in a business and owning one. And so that's really now where we're heading into page 263, which talks about receive a million. So if I read the quote up at the top by Charles Dickens, it says, train up a fig tree in a way it should go, and when you are old, sit under the shade of it. So ultimately you're building something, you're building a tree, so that way now, once you've built it, you've spent time building it, now you can kind of reap the rewards of what you built.
It's a very common word these days, equity.
Yep.
Equity. Building equity in something, right? And working towards being able to receive monies and it's the receiving in a passive way.
Yep.
And not have to be an active part of the business. You're a business owner. We talk about the 4 quadrants. So we've spoken about that with Robert Kiyosaki's 4 quadrants.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you have your employee,
Yep.
you have your self-employed, you have your business owner, and then you have your investor.
Yep.
And so anybody who's in the working field right now can identify with one of those. And sometimes you can identify with 2 of those, or maybe even 3, because you might have different buckets of income coming into you, and they're coming from different parts, right? So you may have been in the receive a million of, let's say, profit share or your real estate sales business, and yet maybe you own a real estate office, and this is a very high level conversation, but you own a real estate office, and that's not yet, you're not receiving, you're more so working in it to get it to a point where you can receive. When we talk about agents' businesses, this is what we started to talk about the last couple of days, and it's really taking, if you're holding the business aspect, the profitability of the business accountable, then you are, to your point on this morning's meeting, you're measuring your numbers every week. You're looking at them. Decisions.
Yep.
And they're not just on a feeling. They're based on evidence in numbers, data. And when you're able to do that, then you will be able to see at what point in your business will you be able to step out of it. You are no longer a salesperson inside of it. You don't take listings anymore. You don't take buyers out anymore. And you could even get to a point where you're not even managing the team anymore. You literally are just an owner of the bulls, and you receive the checks for it, while Phil Jackson leads the team and Michael Jordan plays it. And I know I'm taking us back to like 96, but that's really what it is. You're an owner of a sports team.
Yeah, well,
specializes in real estate.
Exactly. And I think, the example that Gary uses, I just want to share. Well, first he says there are only two routes to acquiring money and financial wealth. You can either earn it or you can receive it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just want to share this one passage because I think this really kind of exemplifies what receive a million is. He uses the example where growing up, he used to mow yards. He used to be a lawnmower. And he said, well, summer rolled around and our family had a week-long vacation planned. So I recruited a friend down the street to take over my business while I was away. My friend was eager to help and had to let drop several times that he'd be happy to take over any yards I was tired of mowing.
Yep.
I capitalized on his eagerness and gave him all my yards for the week for $10 each. The deal was this: I'd let the clients know he'd mow the yards. I'd collect the money and then pay him when I got back. We agreed on it because you see, what I didn't tell him was that I got paid $15 per yard. My mother chided me for this, saying that the deal was fine, but that I should have told my friend. She was right, and I learned a good lesson about integrity in business. But I also learned a huge lesson about leverage and passive income. I wasn't mowing a single yard that week, but would still make $40. So
That's right.
I know that passage was
Great
kind
example.
of, yeah, and I just wanted to read that though, because that in essence, as you're talking about the bulls, as you're talking about stepping out of your business, as you're talking about buyer's agents, listing agents, marketing assistants, becoming, managers that we're going to really get into. I think it's just important that in essence, you built a business and you're essentially, you're still the owner of the business, and in the, you're working, we'll get into in the business and on the business, but you're really making more money by leveraging and outsourcing the tasks that you're doing.
Absolutely. If you can find someone who is better than you
Yep.
in listing appointments, better than you in converting buyers, better than you in marketing, better than you in transaction management,
Yep.
you are just sharpening your axe on being the best leader for them.
Exactly.
Eventually, if you're a great leader at that level where the team is working and you are 7th level receiving, at that point, you will be able to attract great talent that could replace your management of the team. So I think a landscaping business is a great way, or a cleaning business. I've seen some people start a cleaning business. They're a one-woman show.
Yep.
And the minute that they have a second opportunity to take on a Tuesday house cleaning, but they already have a Tuesday house cleaning, is when they go, I don't want to say no to this customer. I'll just tell my girlfriend to do it.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, we do this often in real estate as well. I'll just have my girlfriend do it and she'll get the commission.
Yep.
And she'll get the pay. Well, your girlfriend gets to show up and play in that appointment, in that house cleaning, in that lawn cutting, because you've already laid the groundwork, established yourself as a business, and lead generated in some way to attract clients, whether it was proactively or if it was a passive marketing, prospecting. We talked all about that. However that was, the client didn't just show up today. The extra client showed up because you've laid the foundation of the business. And so rainmakers or agents that are out there that are on that verge of putting a team in place, because you really are outsourcing a lot of the extra leads that you're getting. You're not just losing that lead. You're not just losing that one buyer sale. You are absolutely losing any referral that would ever come from that one person when treated right inside of your database. So don't mistake yourself that is not just a $7,000, $8,000, $10,000. I don't know who could just give up $7,000, $10,000, or $8,000 anyway. But I mean, it's not just that. It is potentially the intangible of hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions over the next 10, 15 years.
Yep.
So when you get to that point, know that others have done it before. Dive into this part of the book.
Yep.
Pick it back up like a manual. Dive right back in here, because you may not be ready right now. And you might say, that's just so above where I'm at. Or you might say, I've already passed that and I've made some mistakes. How do I fix it? We'll go back into this part of the book.
Yeah, well, and I think, it gets to page 267 where we are. It's working on your business versus working in your business. So somebody
Good one.
working in your business, you're doing the actual day-to-day work of the business. So in the example we were talking about before, when Gary was mowing the lawns, he was actually in the business. Working on the business is when you were doing the work of planning and building the business. So when he got his friend to start doing the other, lawns and, making $10 to him, $15 total, so he was taking the $5 profit, that's when you're starting to work on the business and you're starting to ultimately grow the business to where you can build a passive income stream.
Okay, so you said something. Be careful with that. Don't assume that the $5 is all profit. And that's what his friend who got the $10 and finds out that he got $5.
Yep.
The buyer's agent who got 60% and finds out that there was another 40% of the deal.
Yep.
Don't assume that that's all profit, because it's not. Yep. That $5 went towards, well, he walked the neighborhood for years until that client said to their neighbor, hey, you should use my guy. He's great.
Yep.
Okay. He spent the money in the marketing. He spent the time in the calls and the meetings. Yep. And then on top of it, he also had the opportunity to service the client that then referred the next client, and they gave great customer service. That didn't even just happen.
Yep.
You and I did not just show up 2020 and learn about the Red Book.
Yeah.
This is decade of my life inside of this, and and seeing these models, show up or maybe be tweaked because of an area or a person. And, so what we see on the surface when we're talking about business, there's a lot of money that goes into money or time is money, into building a business where you can receive leads, and receiving leads will give you the ability, abundant leads will give you the ability to hire people in so that you can be a investor or a business owner of the real estate sales business that you've built.
Absolutely. And I know, you have a call that you need to get on, and I know we have our call with Bill and Ron at 12. So really, I just want to set the table now for next week. So tomorrow we have our MREI call with Kurt, Megan, and Dana. And then next week, really, we're leaving off on page 268, where we're talking about the 4 issues of a receive a million. So probably each day next week, we'll go through, number 1 is active versus passive. Number 2 is the 7th level opportunity. Number 3 is the 3 key hires, which we've talked about a little bit about. And then number 4, your role and responsibilities. So these are very deep topics and very meaty. So I think we'll probably go through, we'll do 1 a day next week, which I'm excited about. I think, like I said, this is similar to Net a Million. We went through the 16 challenges from Earn a Million to Net a Million. Now we'll be doing the 4 main challenges from getting to Net a Million to Receive a Million. All right. So
I love it. We slammed this book. I mean, we really went through this book. And so I'm also going to encourage you, if you're just seeing this episode, you should really go back and look at and just study along with us. They're 20 to 30 minutes, and we'll take you through the book with us. So all right, Matt.
Awesome. Well, we will see you back
at 12
o'clock. Okay.
Bye, guys.